Get ready for hot takes and insight from local industry experts in real estate, business, and lifestyle. He used to play ball with the Padres. He played hockey for the Lobos. Now they're crushing it in the real estate game. Together, they'll showcase the best of the Duke City. This is All About You, ABQ.
Good day to you. It is All About You, ABQ. Now, the goal of the show is to highlight the best of our city's industry experts in real estate, culture, and lifestyle so that you walk away with some value and feeling inspired. Now, the way we like to do that is to answer the questions you may have or interview the guests that you want to see. So we invite you to join the conversation. You can reach out on our social media up here or join our email list to get some timely tips about our community and real estate market. Hey, I'm Skip Adams, owner of Sold by Skip Real Estate Brokerage here in Albuquerque.
Grant Harvey, home loan expert.
And you probably recognize Grant as the head coach of the University of New Mexico men's Lobo hockey team, but now he's absolutely crushing it in the mortgage game.
And you've seen Skip on HGTV's House Hunters, and he's part of the top 2% producing real estate agents in the city.
Here's why you're going to want to stay tuned. We're joined by Kristina Martinez, the Director of Development at Presbyterian Ear Institute.
You like ears?
Did you hear
we
that?
We both have that. You need them. We like it.
You know what's fantastic or fascinating about her position? She's raising funds, but did you know that being deaf is like a thing of the past now? They're getting rid of sign language completely. And she's going to talk to us more about this implant that restores hearing. Right? That's what I said. It's mind-blowing.
That's so nuts. You know, I don't want to be philosophical, but every time I talk to people, I go, what if we like learned another sense? Like, what if we didn't know that was out there and then you had it? Like, how crazy would that be to have another sense that you never had before?
Yeah, all of a sudden to be able to hear, that's wild stuff. So we're going to learn all about that as well as figure out how we can get involved to raise money for the Presbyterian Ear Institute. And then obviously stay tuned to the end of the show. Should I tell you? Yeah, I'll tell you. It's everybody's favorite, Skip's Tips.
Here's more of what I've been dealing with this weekend.
Nice
I try
office.
to sell everything this weekend. That desk, out the door, $300. And people go, would you take 100? And I go, I would rather light it on fire in my driveway than to sell it to you for that. If you don't even call me, don't reply one more time. I'm gonna, yeah. So that made me mad.
Wait, we need those plants though. If we can get those plants on studio.
That's a nice desk,
between
man.
two firms.
It was my old desk, like in my work, and it's kind of sentimental to me. But like, you know, don't offer me $100. Like I'll have Dasha have a work office.
I've been to your house where you've thrown furniture out the window, and it's way more fun than selling it on Craigslist.
It is true, and everyone says, no, don't do it. And then I go, watch this. And then, okay, let's talk about that. Then at the Christmas party, it's always like the new firewood. And then there's the big, those are back in the old days. I would never touch this stuff. Let's go, okay, so Skip used to refer to me in my garage as hockey sticks and exhaust. And this is probably, evidencing that. I'm going to sell that little unit right after the show. So
little muffler guy?
Sorry everyone that just wasted my time for 5 weeks. I got a good buyer.
Wow, man, just a little side hustle guy, dude. Here's what's going on in the news here locally. So AI is obviously, it's always in the headlines, but
Allen Iverson is good.
Allen Iverson is the new coach of the hockey team here. AI in the news. U.S. Senator Martin Heinrich spoke at an AI training session for small business owners at the West Center in Albuquerque, highlighting the benefits and changes of integrating AI into small businesses. AINU is a nonprofit organization focused on AI education. They organized this event with a workshop to kind of show how you can implement AI into your small business. And it's something that we've been working on in real estate because I think it's very much, you can do a lot of things with it in our industry. You know, whether that's sorting through spreadsheets, organizing data, coming up with sales videos, anything like that. And so, Mark, cue up we'll show a brief clip of just an older AI video that we did last year.
Oh yeah, I remember you doing that.
But the AI now they've made some updates to it, and it's almost indistinguishable. It's pretty wild, that version 2.0. So, Mark, cue it.
Market is still warm despite a winter chill. Here's what I mean. Now, November and December are typically slower months of the year, but we've seen a decrease in the amount of homes that are on the market in addition to an increase in the
That's
median
good,
home
Mark.
price. So here's what that means. While the number of active listings have dipped compared to last year,
Mark.
we saw a continued rise in prices here in Albuquerque, and this indicates a sustained demand for
Uncle.
housing despite being in the
Please
winter.
stop.
Yeah, there we go. See, I told you, man. So AI is pretty wild, right? So that wasn't even me. It wasn't
Are
me
you
talking.
a robot?
Yeah.
Is
Check
this even you?
Check out my gun.
This Terminator 5? Starring Chris Anderson?
What's up with you, man? Anything fucking getting you all ranty?
Oh, man. So, shoot. I actually will need your help on this. I want you to chip in
we'll
on this
freestyle.
rant. But, I want to go off on work or just emails, period. So I think that'll be our start for the excellent intro. So I think that we're all inundated with emails, and I'm sure that because our life is composed of emails and the way we have to do business and your junk emails, I have some frustrations about emails. I do think that so many things get sent to junk. Probably because I have an MSN.com account, which is went by the wayside 20 years ago. But I hate having to sort through what's important and not. The other thing that baffles me is the amount of Nigerian princes that need my money and go, well, if you just ship us 5, did we just, you know what? We decided it was going to be you, Grant. We're going to send you 20 million, whatever it may be. I'm like, this cannot still work. This is still a working practice for me to believe that you found me and you're dying and your last wish is to give Grant Harvey money, which is, I mean, not a bad idea, but I really find it hard that you found me. One of the things, when we're going into work emails, I don't like the whole triple question marks and triple exclamation marks. Like, if you do that to me, I'm going to go fight you. Like, I'm going to find out where you're at. And you don't send me triple exclamation marks. If you write all caps, it means we have to fight. You don't send me all caps. I write what you said. If you're sending me all caps, does it mean the rest of what you said is unimportant? Should I just go to that portion? Because you're saying, hey, this is a part of emphasis. But the emphasis is I'm going to go to your office and fight you. But the other thing is I don't like the ellipsis. As those of you who don't know what ellipsis is, it's the ... So if you say, well, I thought we were going to find out. Okay, what happened? Did you get kidnapped? Did someone fight? Like, did someone kill you? What is it? Is it a mystery? What are we supposed to find out after the ... Do you even know what those mean? It means there's more information to be shown. Are you going to send me another email that finishes off where the triple, the ellipsis was? You know, another thing is, do not send me per the last email. Oh, yeah, that's a FU because you're saying, oh, I guess you purely don't understand. I guess you couldn't put it together. Yeah, I saw your last email. Didn't like that one either. I don't like this one. Skip sound in here. What is one thing
when Karen from accounting replies all to everybody.
Oh, yeah, and please don't put me in this. And also, do not go back and forth with just her. We're all in this now, and we have to talk about, oh, that was so funny, ha, ha, ha. Move it aside. We're all in this. There's 17 people involved. Don't have a conversation in there. One last thing, the GoFundMe, you can't just send that to everyone you knew. And I guess, like, you have to go buy your own baseball uniform. You don't reach out to me if we've barely met. If I've never met you before, I hope it goes well, but you know, I can't send you a GoFundMe every time like Dasha needs vet shots. So we have to stop that. Any other contribution?
I think you fucking nailed this one, buddy.
Okay. That's done.
That was a pretty good ranty. I felt pretty ranty right there with you, man.
It gets people upset, right? So you'd have to wonder who's on the other part of this that goes, wait a minute, I do triple exclamation marks. You're part of the problem.
You're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Or when you send somebody an email and they respond, thank you, and then somebody else CC'd goes, yes, have a good day. And they go, you too. And it just keeps going on. Oh, yeah, enjoy your weekend. No, you enjoy your weekend. It's like a 30-page email.
Actually, I have more. Let's talk about when someone sends you an email and then they get this full billboard of them.
Disclaimers?
Just their picture and then all the things they've ever done. And like, my dad came from Italy and like, okay, like, geez, you don't have to give me your whole bio and stop doing it every single time. We got it. I saw you. We noticed you. Wear neon. Man.
Coming up, here's why you're going to want to stay tuned. We're joined by Kristina Martinez, the Director of Development at Presbyterian Ear Institute, where we are putting an end to the silence of being deaf.
Yeah, Skip and I have had it.
Yeah, I'm putting
with
an end
not
to it.
hearing.
And then obviously stay tuned to the end of the show. It's everybody's favorite, Skip's Tips. This is UABQ. Welcome back to UABQ on the hottest day of the year. It is T-shirt Wednesdays.
Yeah, with no AC in here, and what is it, like 107?
107.9 The Edge. We're joined in studio by Kristina Martinez, the Director of Development at Presbyterian Ear Institute. Kristina, you've got a cool backstory in the fact that you grew up in New Mexico girl. First of all, Kristina Martinez is the ultimate New Mexican name.
I agree. I always get met with, wait, you must be the wrong person, because I'm looking for Kristina Martinez.
Martinez, right?
I can roll the R's, but I married in for sure.
She married in this, so it's very important to know that, like, you may not be off base, but I would probably guess the same, like, oh, is this
right?
Is this a right guess? Luckily, I knew her prior, so we let her in.
But talk a little bit about, obviously the show is all about New Mexico, all about Albuquerque, but growing up here, you grew up a little bit south in Los Lunas. Have you ever been to Los Lunas?
Yeah. I spent a week there one
So
night.
Los Lunas is a small little town that's just south of Albuquerque by about, 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, about 25 minutes.
What was it like growing up there?
You know, it was great. It was quiet. It's a great small town environment. We never had any issues with crime, homeless people, any of the things that you see now. Doors were left unlocked, keys in cars, all the things playing outside.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little storybook town, and it is very charming when you go down Main Street. And I think we had this conversation earlier, is that as the real estate market in Albuquerque starts to heat up and values keep going up and up, buyers are starting to look at Los Lunas as an option. And so I've been driving and spending some time there, but going down Main Street was very charming, Luna Mansion, the whole thing.
Main Street, but let's talk about Main Street at some times of the day, and it is, you better just disassemble your car and walk to pieces home.
Never go between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, because it's going to take you hours.
There's no stoplights. It's just one guy out there with a whistle directing
traffic. I did want to say that Skip and I used to enjoy the keys left in the car in our joyriding days in high school. So we used to go to Los Lunas and just, take cars and ramp them.
Every ride with you is a joyride, Grant. But Kristina, I wanted to jump into this. Talk a little bit about Presbyterian Ear Institute, because this is like basically breaking news for knuckleheads like us. And I think it's just a cool story and a cool thing that you're doing in the community. So talk a little bit about the Institute.
Thank you. So PEI has been around for 37 years now. But like I told you before, I've been at PEI for 7 years, and I've yet to meet a single person who goes, oh, I know who PEI is and what you do. But our mission is really to help deaf and hard of hearing people learn to listen and speak and integrate into mainstream society. And we do that through the use of cochlear implants, hearing aids, BAHAs, hearing technology that allows deaf and hard of hearing people to be able to hear and then learn to speak.
So to speak to this, my wife is a little hard of hearing, and she does wear hearing aids. And so does my mom, so does my grandma. It's like, it's always in our family. And so I didn't know that there's anything that you can do to take it a step above, hearing aids. But you were talking about a cochlear implant.
Yes.
And this is mind-blowing technology to me.
It is. It is truly the most miraculous device in modern medicine. But to be a candidate for a cochlear implant, you have to be profoundly deaf, which means you can't hear thunder. So when you think about that, it's the last step kind of to make sure that you can have your hearing restored. It is not an option for everybody, as nothing is, but it is an option particularly for children if they are born deaf or they lose their hearing later in life, for adults who lose their hearing later in life. There are conditions like meningitis and things like that cause hearing loss and cause deafness, and so now it doesn't have to be, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to learn sign language. Oftentimes, a cochlear implant is an option, and you can be able to hear again.
It's so hot in here, I can hear Grant sweating. So I don't think I would be a candidate for a cochlear implant. But
And now he's bragging. Come on, good my hearing is? Yeah.
yeah, how good my hearing is? Listen to this guy.
It is really hot, too.
It's very hot.
Mark, why don't you cue up that video and we can learn a little bit more about Presbyterian Ear Institute and kind of what you guys are doing in the community.
There is a place where doors open to endless possibilities. At Presbyterian Ear Institute, we turn tough situations like the diagnosis of hearing loss into the opportunity to hear and speak.
I was extremely saddened by the news of Kendall's hearing loss. It emotionally took a huge toll on me.
My son Jace was diagnosed with his hearing loss when he was about 2 years old.
90% of kids who are born with a significant hearing loss are born of parents that are hearing. And so it's very difficult for a family to try to learn a whole new language.
A cochlear implant is a device for people with a moderate to profound hearing loss.
If a child is identified at birth and intervention is started at birth and they undergo an implant within that first 2 years, I expect that most children should do perfectly well.
With the success rate of cochlear implants and how safe and predictable the surgeries are, it was a no-brainer that this is what I wanted for my daughter. I wanted her to have every opportunity to be able to go to any college that she chooses, to make friends wherever she goes.
Our mission of the Ear Institute is to help individuals with hearing loss be able to hear and speak and be able to integrate into mainstream society and be able to live life doing whatever it is they want to do.
We have everything here. Speech pathology, her teacher, audiologist, and you just had like ENT, so we have everything here.
¿Quieres empezar con inglés o español? Con inglés? Okay.
Literacy is going to be the key, the code that unlocks everything else for their future.
Get a close-up look at the...
After 12 years in the field, I had never heard a profoundly deaf child speak with such fluency until I came to PEI.
I love PEI because they taught me how to read and they helped me get braver and braver and braver in gymnastics.
He thrived. He thrived in kindergarten. He thrived in first grade. At the end of this school year, he was chosen to read a paragraph in their end of the year performance.
Friends had so much fun during the springtime.
For me, PEI was a hug from a mom that said, don't worry, we're going to stay here and we're going to help you. One of my first talk with Miss Susan was when I won the Brisa can tell me about her day. 8 months later, Brisa, in the back of the car, in her car seat, told me, Mom, how was your day? And it's when I said, PEI, it's always gonna be in my heart. And thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Because this is a change that Brisa is gonna have for all her life.
I couldn't picture Kendall any other way. So much of her personality comes out verbally. She's just articulate in her speech and she has this creative imagination and her reading is just amazing that every single day I look at her and I think I made the right decision. I made the right decision.
There's something on the other end of this education that they receive at PEI that's better than you ever imagined, and the things that Jace can do now and the things that he's going to do, he's not going to be stopped by language, by speech, by his hearing even. He wants to be the first astronaut, the first deaf astronaut. It seems like it's slow, it seems like it's hopeless, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, and PEI is amazing at coming together with you and getting there with you and with your child.
We are are the only school in the state that teaches children to hear and speak who are deaf and hard of hearing. Of course, the other option is sign language through the School for the Deaf. And so we partner very well together, but there are families who want their child to learn to hear and speak, and so we are the experts in that piece, and they are the experts in sign language. And so
imagine the new avenues someone has right now. Now that there's just so many more options and so much more stimuli and interaction, and kind of changing the scope of how communication and how the world will be for them from here on out.
Yes. Less than 1% of the world signs. And so when you think about that and the implications, like you saw on the video of Kimberly speaking, the implications of that for your child are, do you want to, need to move to a specific area where there are plenty of deaf people that they can communicate, or do you want them to be able to learn to hear and speak, and then later in life also learn sign? Because the beautiful thing about a cochlear implant is you have to do the implant surgery early when they're young. There's only opportunity to learn to hear and speak about age 3, 4 at a maximum, before those neural pathways in your brain start to close off. You can learn to sign at any point in your life. So for parents, they're kind of making that hard decision early. It's a surgery, right? And so some parents feel scared about that, and it's kind of what Kimberly was talking about in the video. But you can learn to hear and speak only for a short amount of time, which is why our school is also so important. We're giving them the access to sound, and then we've got to teach them what to do with that sound.
So what I hear you saying is for adults or people later in life, if they wanted to do a cochlear implant,
you got it.
they may be in a situation where they've already developed neural pathways that won't allow for them to.
If they were born deaf and did not have the surgery early, then it is not an option for them to learn to hear and speak. It may be an option for them to be able to hear, for safety issues and pieces like that, but they wouldn't ever really have that opportunity to learn to speak like children do.
That's you know what, I'll speak to that. I'm going to give an admission on this show. So I had a lot of ear infections as a kid, and I couldn't say my S's. I had to go to speech therapy because I didn't pick up some of that, and then go ahead and get my teeth blown out, and now back to my lisp again. But yeah, I mean, I can testify to that. That's why I didn't know my S's. It was just, there was a miss on what I was supposed to hear and how it sounds. So
correct.
Yeah.
We have staff, so we have oral deaf educators, we have speech language pathologists, we have audiologists, we have an ENT on staff, we've got occupational therapy now for our students. So really it is like a one-stop shop, so your child can receive really intensive listening and language therapy, and our kids are so successful. We're so proud of them.
It sounds like you have a fantastic operation going. It sounds like there's a lot of moving pieces, and it sounds like any funds that you can go out and raise would make all the difference in the world. Talk a little bit about any fundraisers you have coming up right now.
100%. So I will just show you our Wine, Women, and Shoes Heels for Hearing event that is coming up this fall, September 7th. And it is a fabulous auction. We've got a fashion show, a marketplace. So think about shopping, sipping fine wines, eating fun food with your friends. It's a great opportunity for girlfriends, companies, families. In fact, last year was our first year doing the event. We had 300 people come, and we raised more than $150,000. So it was the biggest fundraiser PEI's ever had. So we're excited for this year. But we had a few men attend, in addition to our soul men, who kind of help us excite the guests about shoes and buying things and the raffle and all of those pieces. And the couple of men that attended, in addition, with wives or whatever, were a little nervous about it. They were like, well, it's called Wine, Women, and Shoes. Do I need to be there? Should I be there? And they ended up leaving saying, we had so much fun. We'll be back next year. And then I had wives and girlfriends telling me, I should have brought my husband. We would have had so much fun. So I'm excited for this year to see how it pans out. And we're hoping to have about 400 guests. We've got some great live auction items coming in.
So tell me one more time. So date, location, cost for this event.
So September 7th at Sandia Resort and Casino. It's $100 for a general admission ticket or $150 for a VIP ticket. Don't miss your opportunity for that because they are limited. That gets you front row seating for the fashion show. You get extra champagne on your table in addition to the wine, as well as a VIP gift.
Okay, so like I'm going to jump in. I'm going to be involved, and I kind of need to know what I'm involved in. I know you briefed. So what will I be doing? Because I'm going to participate in this show.
So we're so excited because Grant is going to be one of our soul men. And so what Soul Men are responsible for is helping us to fundraise ahead of the event. We have a $15,000 goal, and we're hoping to get 20 to 25 soul men to join us to help spread the mission of PEI, because obviously not enough people know about us, help raise some money before the event, and then at the event be event ambassadors. So you'll be working on helping us to sell Key to the Closet tickets, helping us to showcase our event vendors. Last year we had soul men taking jewelry and shoes around on platters, and the women were loving it. We are going to have a best in shoe contest again this year, and so Albuquerque the magazine is going to be helping us with that. But
friends of mine.
Yes.
Front cover. Here.
So Grant, you will be helping us to raise money, but to really help be an ambassador for PEI so that more people know about PEI, our mission, and what we offer to the
it's
community.
important. I mean, we didn't know about this, right? And I think that's one of our main missions is to awareness. And I think this is an amazing thing going on. It's like we find out every time with guests, like, wow.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool the things that you guys are doing. It is so hot in here. I am dying.
Yeah, dude.
Can we raise some money to turn on the air conditioner?
I don't know what I'm going to do to survive this.
It's pretty hot, Grant.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You happy now?
So, Kristina, it sounds like you guys have a fantastic event coming up. Tell us a little bit more about this video we're about to see.
Yes. So you'll see some of our footage from last year. Fashion show, auction, some of our graduates who helped us at the event. It's so much fun. Come and join us, sip, shop, and support.
All right, roll it. Awesome, Kristina. We'll have links to all of your events coming up as well as the PEI so that people can make donations but also follow along and get involved in the event that they need your services.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it.
No, our pleasure. Coming up, here's why you're going to want to stay tuned. It's everybody's favorite Skip's Tips. This is UABQ.
Air conditioning tips. Hottest episode on TV. Segment 3, Skip's Tips. You're going to be sweating.
Yeah, it's Skip's Tips. Anything that saves us time, makes us more money, or allows us to have more fun, whether that's in real estate or real life. Here's one hack for lowering your monthly interest rate that most home buyers don't know about. In this higher interest rate climate, home builders are offering to pay down your interest rate by up to 1.5%. Now, it typically costs the lender about 1% of the loan amount to reduce the interest rate by about 1/4 point. Builders are covering the cost of this in order to save buyers more money and provide more value. But here's the catch. They're typically inflating the value of their home by about 5%. To offset the cost of buying down your interest rate. So what's your take? Is it worth it to spend more on a brand new home in order to save money every month? Leave a comment below and join the conversation. Share this with a friend and tell them Skip said so.
Oh, wow.
I feel like we're on the beach right now. It's so hot. Great
Pull
episode.
the plug. I'm done.
This whole show is going off the rails.
I'm never coming back again. We're going to ESPN after this.
Every Wednesday night, Sunday morning on the Education Channel, now Channel 27 and worldwide on UABQ Podcast. This is all about you.
We'll do anything for ratings.
ABQ.
ABQ.